We'll talk about molecules and chemical formulas. Remember when we watched that video of different alkali metals exploding in the water? That chunk of sodium in the video is made of only sodium atoms. Something that is made of only one kind of atom is called an element. The periodic table lists the 118 known elements in our universe. But there are more than 118 kinds of things in our universe. So how does that work? Most things are made of more than one kind of element. So here we have some salt, and you may know that salt contains two kinds of atoms, sodium and chlorine. This is what a molecule of salt looks like. Molecules are two or more atoms bonded together. Sometimes a molecule has two or more different kinds of atoms in it. That's called a compound. So salt is a compound because it contains sodium and chlorine atoms, and those are different kinds of elements. Sometimes a molecule has two or more of the same kind of atom in it, and that is still called an element. So if it's two of the same, it's an element, and if it's two different, it's called a compound. Some of you asked me why salt, which has sodium in it, doesn't explode in water. When elements combine, their properties change. So let's practice a little bit. Let's see if you can identify some compounds and some elements. Okay, this is the first one. This is water. And this is a compound. Good. All right, this is gold, and it's an element. Good. We know it's an element because it's just one kind of atom. All right, here we have some nitrogen gas. This one's a little bit trickier. And this one is an element. Why? Because they're the same kind of atom. Two nitrogen atoms put together in a molecule. All right, and I love this one. I think it looks like a little duck. This one is a compound. Good, because we have lots of different kinds of atoms making this molecule. All right, now you should be able to complete your notes. So if it contains only one kind of atom, that's an element. If it's two or more atoms bonded together, that is a molecule. And if it is a molecule that contains two or more different kinds of elements, that is a compound. Excellent. All right, let's talk chemical formulas. So chemical formulas use the chemical symbols on the periodic table and numbers to tell you how much of each kind of atom are in a molecule. So here are some example chemical formulas on the screen. This molecule contains one nitrogen atom and three fluorine atoms. See the one nitrogen and the fluorine? That little 3 tells us that there are 3 fluorine atoms, and you can see them in the picture of the molecule to the left. So on your chemical formulas page, you're going to do a little bit of labeling here. So that's our 3D molecule. You can go ahead and label that. That's called a space-filling model. This whole thing is the chemical formula. These are chemical symbols. We'll draw some arrows for those. There you go. So our 2 chemical symbols from the periodic table. And then this little number down here, that is called a subscript. And that tells you how many of each kind of atom are in the molecule. Now you'll notice that there's no number 1 by the N, and that's because we just kind of leave it off. It would look too cluttered if we put in all of the singles. So if there's no subscript, you just assume that there's one of them. Okay, let's practice a little bit with our chemical formulas. So here we have some water, H2O, and this molecule contains how many hydrogen atoms? That's right, 2. And then that leaves us how many oxygen atoms? Just 1. Very good. All right, here's a different one. This is carbon dioxide. So this molecule contains how many carbon atoms? That's right, just 1. And how many oxygen atoms? Good, 2. All right, one more practice. Oh, and by the way, that's what carbon dioxide looks like. It's kind of cute. Looks like a little face. All right, here is, this is sulfuric acid. So this molecule contains how many hydrogen atoms? That's right, it contains 2. And how many sulfur? Good, just 1. And how many oxygen atoms? That's right, 4. Very good. And if you're curious, that's what the molecule looks like. You can see that little oxygen atom in the back there hiding. Well, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.